Why do I always have to help my dad with the yard work? This is gonna take all day to cut back these bushes and mow the lawn. My report on pygmy hippos is due tomorrow. I was up until 1 o'clock last night working on it. How am I gonna finish it if I'm out here with my dad? Our backyard looks like a jungle. I wish it was a jungle. I wish my dad and I were on safari in the jungle. Oh, great. Now Dad's on the cell phone again.
Hey, Windy girl.
I'm not going to do this work by myself while he talks on the phone.
Oh, I'm just sitting here in the backyard with Tara. We're mowing the lawn. Uh-huh. Yeah, that sounds great.
I'll just lay down for a minute while he's on the phone. My dad's always on the phone. If we were on safari, he couldn't be on the phone all the time. Wow, my dad's found a pygmy hippo footprint. This is so cool. My dad's taking me on safari because I always help him with the yard work. We're going to find the elusive pygmy hippo. I was just learning about hippos at school, so I'll be able to tell Dad all about them if we see some. Pygmy hippos strip ferns like this when they eat. My dad thought he saw something, but I didn't see it. My dad thinks there will be some pygmy hippos over by the waterfall. Look, there's a pygmy hippo. There's another one over there. Pygmy hippos have only average eyesight, but a good sense of smell. I bet that's why he's smelling the air. We're going to walk downwind so they won't know we're here. Now we have a better view. It looks like a male and female. That's not common in the wild because pygmy hippos would rather be by themselves. Most of the time that they're not eating or sleeping, the pygmy hippos are resting, like they are now. It looks like there's something next to the mother. Maybe it's a baby. It is a baby. We brought along an underwater camera so we could get a better look at the pygmy hippos. Pygmy hippo mothers are very protective of their babies and are also quite affectionate with them. Baby pygmy hippos can stay underwater for about 20 seconds. The Nile hippo can be more than 8 times as large as the pygmy hippo. Pygmy hippos used to be found in a large portion of the African continent, but today they're only located in 4 countries in West Africa: Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. The skin of the pygmy hippo is a grayish-black in color and is approximately 2 inches thick. Glands in the skin secrete a pinkish sticky substance that functions to keep the skin moist, prevent heat loss, and help protect the hippo from the sun. A hippo's specific gravity allows him to sink to the bottom of this river and glide along with little effort. A full-grown pygmy hippo can hold its breath underwater for about 5 minutes. The baby pygmy hippo is also extremely comfortable in the water. The hippo's pinkish glandular secretion makes him look like he's sweating blood. This blood sweat is common with all hippos and makes them feel slick when you touch them. This blood sweat makes for less resistance when the hippo is in the water. Although the pygmy hippos can walk at birth, they can't walk very far on land or they would severely damage their tender feet. Six to 7 months after conception, a single baby can weigh between 11 and 13 pounds when born. A newborn baby pygmy hippo is said to resemble an eggplant with legs. This baby will gain about 3 pounds per week until it reaches its adult weight. This baby is about 4 months old. For the first 6 to 8 months of its life, the baby is nursed by its mother. The mother usually hides her baby to protect it from predators and the sun. The pygmy hippos were given protective status at the 1968 African Convention of the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Although pygmy hippos are not currently in danger of extinction, they have been classified as vulnerable. There are several threats to the survival of the pygmy hippo in the wild. Deforestation plays a role in the decrease of pygmy hippos' numbers. Another problem for the pygmy hippos comes from political unrest in the countries in West Africa that are homes to the pygmy hippo. Since the pygmy hippo's skin is thick and tasty, he is often hunted by those who are made hungry by the political unrest in their country. Some natives also use various body parts of the pygmy hippo in rituals as well as for witch doctor medicine. The long scratch on the baby's side was probably caused by rubbing against a rock. All hippos have unique scars on their bodies that make them easily recognizable for study in the wild. Adult pygmy hippos usually spend the morning and early afternoon resting before starting to feed, if their children will let them. There seems to be no end to the indignities a pygmy hippo has to suffer just to take a nap. Hippo means river horse in Greek, but the hippo is more genetically related to pigs than they are to horses. Nile hippos spend most of their time in the water. Nile hippos are related to pygmy hippos and share many characteristics, but not size or social structure. This picture shows us the Nile hippo is a lot bigger than the pygmy hippo. As you can see, the Nile hippo at the top of the screen has eyes, ears, and nostrils that sit higher on its head than those of the pygmy hippo. The most dangerous place to be in all of Africa is between a Nile hippo and the water. The second most dangerous place to be in Africa is between a Nile hippo mother and its baby. Nile hippos have been known to bite a crocodile in half when they're upset. All Nile hippos live in groups of 5 to 30, and sometimes as many as 150. Pygmy hippos usually lead solitary lives, unless they are raising a baby or during mating. All hippos are vegetarians. Besides eating leaves and stems, they also like roots, fruits, and different water plants. Nile hippos, like the one at the top of the screen, are about 5 feet tall at the shoulder and can reach up to 15 feet in length. Nile hippos can weigh over 8,000 pounds. The pygmy hippo at the bottom of the screen measures a little over 2.5 feet at the shoulder when fully grown, and can reach up to 5 feet in length. The male pygmy hippo can weigh as much as 650 pounds, while the female can be as small as 380 pounds. Some Nile hippos can open 4 feet wide enough for the pygmy hippo to fit inside. Although all hippos have barrel-shaped bodies, there is very little fat under their skin. Because 2/3 of a hippo is edible meat, hippos have been considered by some people for breeding programs similar to cattle. Nile hippos have little fear of man and are considered the most dangerous of Africa's animals. The Nile hippo has less hair on its tail than the pygmy hippo does. When the pygmy hippo goes to the bathroom, its tail whirls like a helicopter blade and throws the waste all over the place. It's too bad we aren't getting to see this happen. Or maybe it's just as well. All hippos' feet have 4 toes that work separately to support the hippo's weight. If you had someone guess what species would create the largest biomass on the continent of Africa, they might say it would be all the hippos lumped together. They would be wrong. Ants make up 1/3 of the biomass of Africa. Literally every tree has its own colony. The pygmy hippo only has hair on its tail, mouth, nose, and ears. The hippo's skull is rather large and long, but their brain is small. Most Nile hippos graze along the shoreline, or up to a mile from the shore, but the pygmy hippo grazes in excess of 3 miles. The ivory teeth of the hippo are often used for carving. Once the hard enamel layer is removed with acid wash, hippo ivory is softer than elephant ivory, so it is easier to carve. Hippo ivory also doesn't turn yellow over time like elephant ivory does. Prior to being carved and substituted for elephant ivory, hippo teeth were used to replace human teeth. This male is licking the area that contains the scent of a female pygmy hippo believed to be an estrus. Her scent makes him salivate. The hair on the pygmy hippo's nose helps protect it from running into submerged rocks when the water is murky. Pygmy hippos have a 3-chamber stomach that allows them to process their food more effectively. Both Nile and Pygmy hippos have between 38 and 40 teeth. The tusk-like incisors and canines grow constantly. The lower teeth are longer than the uppers. Sexual maturity for the pygmy hippos is reached between 4 and 5 years of age. In captivity, pygmy hippos have lived to be over 40 years old, but their life expectancy in the wild is much shorter. When the pygmy hippo is underwater, the nose and ears will close to keep the water out. In various zoos located in the United States, there are about 50 pygmy hippos. Most of these pygmy hippos have an ancestor named Billy. In 1927, a male pygmy hippo named Billy was given to President Calvin Coolidge by Harvey Firestone, who owned a large rubber plantation in Liberia. Billy was so cute that a breeding program was established so his offspring could be viewed in other parts of the country. Although Liberia, Ivory Coast, and Guinea are involved in pygmy hippo conservation efforts, Sierra Leone holds the most promise because of the large rainforest still in existence there. The pygmy hippo is very shy and will run away from humans rather than confront them. This shyness is learned behavior. The pygmy hippo rarely gets to see a friendly human in the wild. I hope someday that will change.
Wake up, sweetie pie.